Today we have some work to do on a farm. We have some chores to take care of, and there's always something to do here. But when we're all done with everything, we're going to get out on the open road. This looks like it's going to be a beautiful fall day. The weather is predicted to be cold in the morning and get nice by this afternoon, and we may be back by early afternoon. We never know. These days are very unpredictable. But any day you can get out on the open road is a lot better than any day you'd be locked in prison and they throw the key away. Today promises to be just a little different than every other day, and that's what's been happening lately. The weather's changing. It's getting really cool in the morning. Still, the afternoons are very nice, but every day is just a little bit different. Now, I do have a little bit of work still to do on the farm. I have a few little maintenance items, and the biggest thing, I ran out of microfibers. Boy, that's a fate worse than death. I got to wash all my microfibers, have that going while I'm having my coffee. Without microfibers, the world comes to a crashing halt around here. Now, while the microfibers were in the wash, I thought I'd share some of this. These are the real nice ones that I got they're from Harbor Freight. They were 10 bucks for I don't know how many are in 10 in a pack, probably $1 a piece. They're made by Grant's microfiber towels. Now, I try to maintain these and take care of them, and one of the reasons why is I don't like scratching my paint unnecessarily. I also wanted to share another thing. I bought some of these when I was by AutoZone. They were really expensive. Now, the only problem is, when I washed the original ones, they were beautiful for cleaning up paint, cleaning up face shields and everything. But the problem is, as soon as I washed them, they went kaput. So I've been saving them for more delicate jobs, but right now, I want to get all the microfibers washed, folded, and put back in here, because I have various ones and you think it's a simple thing until you go to fold 100 of them. I want to get some that I use for polishing aluminum, some for paint, and some just to clean the chain. Now, it's pretty funny. Over the years, I've tried a lot of different ways to clean microfibers. I've read on the internet different tricks and solutions and things you can use, and what I found for me seems to work the best is to buy new microfibers. And these ones from Harbor Freight that are $10 for a pack have been exceptional. They've been really good. They come, at least the ones I've gotten. That's not one of them. I can tell because they're not all washed out. But here's what happens. When they get all washed out like this and they get dirty, and they have a lifespan, like me, they have a lifespan, in fact. But here's what one of the things I noticed. These really, really cheesy ones that they're like 10 for $1 or something that you get at Harbor Freight. These, I don't like to do paint with these. These are okay for polishing aluminum and stuff. So I try to sort this out. These new ones that are 10 bucks for a pack, these are super. But I'm trying not to. See, this one's already a little dirty. What I'm trying to do, and I'll report on how this plays out. I was speaking to a friend of mine who has a lot of interests like that we share in painting and modeling and everything, and he washes his microfibers in a solution of, I'm trying to remember it now, I got to talk to him, half simple green and half laundry detergent. Well, what I did today, just as an experiment, and it seemed like it worked pretty good, is usually I'll wash them with simple green, and no special amount, just enough that to hopefully get the grease out. And then while they're still in there, wash them one more time with laundry detergent. Now, usually the test is, I'll show this little thing, because for me, see, I try to separate them, the ones that I'm going to use, obviously for paint work, polishing, soft, delicate windshields, face shields. The newer ones. The older ones that get like this, and they really are, these are appropriate for polishing aluminum, wiping things down that just you're wiping stuff off, because they do pick up the grit and the grease, wiping a chain, whatever. But anytime you get diesel fuel on them, they're garbage. But this is one of the joys of having a bike collection, and what I plan on doing very soon is replacing a lot of these. They're probably several years old. And I just thought I'd mention this. I'm going to show this up close and personal. When I repaired Dale's RZ tank, he brought over shared with me a pack of Kirkland that they're microfibers, and I still have them, and they're still pretty good. They were one of the better brands. In fact, as I'm looking at them, these are mostly Kirkland, the yellow ones. In fact, they were all yellow from that pack. But anyway, you really do need to wash microfibers. You need to wash them separately. And whether you make a solution and wash them once, or in my case, I would just wash them twice. And I'm still looking for something that'll work even better. Then there's always somebody out there in the real world that knows more. Oh, not more. They know a lot more than I do. And so next time I speak to anybody that does custom cars, they all seem to have these solutions and soaps and everything. But I would love to, at the end of this, the whole bottom line is, I always want to have a couple or a pack of brand new ones for wiping off face shields, the soft paintwork that's less than a year old, that kind of thing. And washing them and separating them regularly. It's such a good tip. And today's my lucky day. Somewhere today, these will all be back out in the garage. Okay, now that they're all folded, washed, dried, sorted, we can move on to more fun things like getting a bike ready and going for a ride and taking care of KARYN'S farm, among other things. Okay guys, winter is coming. Let's get ready for winter together. We'll all eat extra. It's time to harvest. Every day is a harvest day. There are no exceptions. Easy, don't fall over there, Grammy. Hey, 2 tomatoes. We're coming down the end of the harvest season here, it looks like. I don't know. Yeah, there's still some stuff out there. Let's see what we get. You believe it, we're still getting kohlrabies, Kar. Still getting kohlrabies. These are fresh kohlrabies. Once they're dressed off and skinned, delicious. I'm amazed, Kar, how much we're still getting out of the garden. It's just unbelievable. And of course, that kohlrabi. Now, once we get the harvest for the farm, get the bike ready, and it's always part of my involvement with motorcycling. I like to ride a clean motorcycle. And I know everybody's sitting at home laughing and saying, why does he do this? It's a lot of work. Oh, you just go ride a muddy bike. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? It's all in the eye of the beholder. And this works for me. Hey, birds, I'm making out my income tax today. Can I deduct you off my income tax? Final check of the weather. Guess what? Not a cloud in the sky. And it's really chilly this morning, but it's going up into the 60s by noon. Everything is okay on a farm, and we are ready to ride. Now, I just love in the beginning of a ride when it's a little bit chilly and a little bit cold and your hands are a little cold. And as you feel it warming up, you get into that nice zone where you're just cool and just nice. And then usually around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you start thinking, maybe I put an extra sweater on. All day snow and leaves. What a beautiful day this is turning out to be. Wow. Just fabulous. Now it looks like the corn crop is done for the year here. Look at this tree out in the middle of nowhere. Great photo op.
No more corn. We're done for the year.
It's interesting, as I go past some of the farms in this area, their crops are done for the year. Their corn seems to be done. And yet Karen and I are still getting tomatoes pretty much every day. I don't think the end is in sight. I think we're still going to get maybe 2 or 3 more weeks of getting a basket every morning.
Now, what vehicle do you think has more low-end torque, the John Deere or the MT-09? I don't know. We'll have to put this to the test.
Now, Luciano told me he still has a few track days left in him, and he's trying to lure me into taking this to track day. I don't know. I don't think so. I think for me, the way I'm cruising around now and having fun and looking at the scenery, this really works well for me. Now, after 9,500 miles on this bike and having done pretty much all the maintenance, having 3 sets of rear tires, 3 different rear tires, and trying all the suspension settings and dinking around with everything, I've really developed a good relationship with this bike. Now, every time I park the bike and get it ready to take some pictures, and I start looking at it from different angles and thinking, what are the parts I want to work on over the winter? There's a few parts I want to paint. The wheels, of course, and there's a few more carbon fiber little doodads I had in mind.
Still some beautiful plants out, even though it really got cold in the last couple days. And it seems like it's getting colder every day now. Winter's coming. You still have the fall flowers out here blooming away.
Now, as I'm stopping to take pictures, we had a nice guy stop. He was out riding today, too. He thought my bike was broken down. That happens very often with cars even. And people think you're broken down and you have a camera in your hand. But, hey, it's nice to see the camaraderie among motorcyclists. And as it gets colder, that camaraderie gets stronger and stronger as the herd gets thin.
I've always wanted to get my ducks in a row. I wonder if it counts when you have geese. Really nice pond.
Now, I've got enough miles on the lowered forks, and of course that's a video that's previous to this, lowering them. We've done 4 different bikes. All 4 of them had positive results. And this one, more than any, lowering those forks just a little bit really makes the turn in quick. I like it.
It is literally snowing leaves. Look at the leaves blowing out into the street. Snowing leaves.
At today's ride, I had about 4 hours. I actually had a longer ride than what I originally started out. And the seat is still comfortable. The ergonomics with the lowered forks make it a little more aggressive. For me, I think I've finally got this dialed in exactly the way I want it. Today, when I stopped and filled up the tank, I noticed the high-test gas. Almost everywhere I went was over $4 a gallon. I'm sure it's more in California and places like that, but boy, I wish we were energy independent again.
Now there's just a ton of new paving going on up in this area. Just unbelievable amount of paving. Unreal. Pretty impressive stuff. We should have all new roads in a year or so.
I'm not sure you can see it on the video, but an awful lot of these roads with the new paving, I know when paving is relatively new, it's a lot slipperier than it is when it gets a little wear and tear on it. So I'm being a little extra cautious today on these new roads. And before every ride, when I check the air in the tires, I look to monitor how these Michelin 5s are wearing. They are wearing way better than I thought they would. I thought by now I'd be looking at seeing some bars come through, and not even close. Not even close.
Well, at least we know what time it is. A nice big clock up there. Anyway, Halloween decorations still out. And some evil looking stuff going on here.
And I know I say it more than I should, but I know since I have this bike with the quick shifter, Every time I ride a bike without a quick shifter, I wish I had one. And that is one of my goals over the winter, to see if I can get some more quick shifters.
And we still are in the middle of that leaf peeping thing. Still some beautiful leaves all around.
Now, I've been using a little test with the traction control to just see how slippery the roads are at certain times. And what I do, just take off in first gear, give it the gas, and watch the traction control come on. And that sometimes it'll come on 2 or 3 times in first gear. And then you know the roads are slipperier than you think they are. And of course, the goal with my collection, as always, was to get one bike from every 10-year period. Unfortunately, I can't get another bike now for another 8 years. But anyway, boy, this collection ended with, I think, the best bike I've ever owned. This really has floated my boat.
And not every tree has beautiful leaves on it. Some of them don't make it through the winter here, or the summer, who knows.
So the ride is almost over and it's time to get back to the farm. But every time I get to the end of a ride, I think, well, you know, I could be doing other things with my life, but I'm not sure what they are. I'm not sure if I'd enjoyed them more than I've enjoyed my motorcycle collection and the friends I've made along the way. Every day is different. Every day's an adventure. Every day something happens that I have no control over. So I hope you did enjoy sharing a ride with us. Hope you enjoy sharing our little farm adventures and dog adventures and whatever. Jets going overhead. Listen to that. Isn't it great living by an airport? Anyway, I hope you did enjoy sharing this with us. Thank you so much for flying overhead, for watching. So at 9,500 miles, it just keeps getting better and better. I know my friends get sick of me here, and they sick of hearing me say how much I like this bike. Now, I'm sure there's people that they have their favorite bike. And when it comes to motorcycling, you should always ride the bike you like best. And they're all good. They're all a lot of fun. And in the end, you'll find the one that you want to marry or the one you love. But in my case, the problem is I love them all. So we do post up a new video every day, and hope you enjoyed it, and we hope we'll see you tomorrow.